It's War Dragon time. Hey everyone, it is RPW and you are watching Talk Dragon Tuesday. Today is March 12th, 2019, which means we're going into week 2 of the Springblossom season. Now, last week we went over some of the things that, we're changing about the new season, but there were a few things that could not fit in that episode that we'll go over today. Now, we'll also be going over some of my personal opinions and personal thoughts about the new season, as well as what branching I might be going for after seeing all the dragons and so forth. So we'll be going over that as well today. Do you like free stuff? I know I do. I love free stuff. Well, anyways, with that being said, if you love free stuff, then be sure to stick around, especially if you entered in last week's contest, because we're going to be going over the winner from that Talk Dragon Tuesday. Now, on top of that, we're going to be setting up our new $20 in-game pack giveaway right here on today's episode that we will, of course, announce on next Talk Dragon Tuesday. Now, if you are new to my channel and you don't know what this means, it means every time you come into my Talk Dragon Tuesday, you're going to be given the information on how you can enter for a chance to win a $20 in-game pack. Now, these $20 in-game packs are provided by War Dragons, so whoever's name I draw today will be sent up to Ariana, or I cannot pronounce her name. I don't know why. Ariana? Why can't I pronounce that? Anyways, we're going to be sending up the winner to her so that she can get your package out to you. So we'll go through the details a little bit later in this episode, so be sure to stick around so you can possibly win. And if you win, you're going to be able to use that on this PvP, I would assume, if they get it to you on time. Now, with that being said, this week will be a PvP, which is the Team Gauntlet. If you're somewhat new to War Dragons and you have not played the Team Gauntlet, be sure to jump over to my Event Guide Series playlist so that you can find this in that list and figure out how it is and how you should play it. You can also utilize these to help set up, any kind of strategies for your team or whatever it might be. Now, so yes, Team Gauntlet will be this week, which means we'll be having a PvP in the first 2 weeks of the season, which they did this last season, and there was a lot of good feedback. I mean, it was probably 70% good feedback, 30% not good feedback. So with that being said, there are a few reasons why there are players that don't like the PvP in the beginning, but I would say the majority do appreciate having the PvP in the beginning of a season, and we'll go over why. Now, the big reason why is because a lot of players have saved back their resources from the end of last season because they got finished early. And this allows them to spin these up in the beginning and get larger amounts of prizes during the 50% off dragon situation. With that being said, there's also that 30% that finds, this to be a bad thing because they don't have any resources saved back and they really need the egg token bonus in order to, make any good points in this, but yet they're kind of stuck because of the 50% off dragon situation. I see both sides of the fence, and it does make a difference on how you should or should not set up for events when they fall in this, in this manner. And this might be something that we see more permanent. So if you have not already saved back resources from the breeding event, then be sure to do this next season. Whatever the first event is, save back those resources just in case a PvP does hop in for the second week, because you don't want to miss out on that chance to get that 50% off dragon as far as possible. So far, my plan is to, of course, go for Haku, which is a 50% off dragon. I always try to take advantage of that in the first 2 weeks. However, we're going to go over a little bit of information on that guy in just a moment. But that alone is always my biggest priority. Then I like to jump over to my egg token bonus. I generally only get the first half, and I save the second half for a later PvP. And then, of course, I'm going to jump over, and more than likely, I'm going to go for the rider coming out because I really want those shards that are coming in with the new pricing information. And then I will then later decide what my third key item will be, and I will then go for Zenko. So that's my personal plan on my main account. Now, there have been some changes to the Haku, or the branches, and not just him, but all the branches in general, especially when it comes to your sigil pricing. So I want to go over that, especially with the 50% off dragon, because I've seen a lot of people very concerned on the pricing. Now, first of all, it's gone from having 2 pages to having 3 pages. Now, you'll notice on the first page, it actually starts out at 200 sigils on the very first prize, which is no longer a gold chest. It used to be that you could collect up at the end, you could collect up maybe the last 100 sigils, you could go through and at least get that gold chest. Well, unfortunately, they've taken that from us, and that does suck. However, there is no more like high climb anymore in this. So let's say you are not able to get the entire thing done in the first 2 weeks. That's actually not a terrible thing anymore, because most of your price points are going to be in your first 2 pages. Once you get to your last page, which is where your higher evolution stones are going to be, there are a little bit smaller prizes, but they're a lot cheaper in the end. So let's say you don't get this dragon all the way to the 3rd page, you maybe just finish up the 2nd page in the first 2 weeks, then that means you've gotten over the basic hump. The last little bit is going to be pretty darn cheap. Now, with that being said, the reason why you should always go for this guy is because he is half price, which means the prizes that you're going to get along the way are half price in comparison to, let's say, Kaiji, which I think, or Kaji, whatever his name is, which I don't think is even a great dragon anyway. So for me personally, Haku is the best choice when it comes to your first key. Now, with that being said, then comes your next prize choice. Now, I am probably going to go for the Springblossom Season Egg Boken, what the hell did I just say? Egg token bonus, just because I really want to start getting my egg tokens boosted up when I'm doing my egg missions. However, I generally only go until I get to the 100% area, and then I stop there until a later PvP. That's just so I can get some from my next PvP and then get my bonus started for the beginning of the season. After I've done that, I'm more than likely going to come back, grab Sato, just because of these awesome prizes that you get along the way, known as the shards. Now, if you're in Atlas, this is a great way to get those extra shards that we're not getting in Atlas itself. So do not, let that go. Take full advantage of this. Now, that'll be my 2nd key. My 3rd key, however, I'm not 100% certain on. It'll probably be more knowledgeable to me once I see Wave 2 being released. I know they have another rider coming. Those shards would be great, but the type of rider that she accidentally had said, somebody said she accidentally said that it was a defensive rider. If it is a defensive rider, I don't really have an interest in that. So I may go for the other dragon they bring out. I don't know. Or the base boost, which is the one I'm really honestly contemplating. Now, with that being said, those would be my 3 keys. And of course, I'm going to go for Zenko. Now, if you look in Zenko, Zenko is different. So he doesn't have all the little prizes. If you remember back, if you've been around long enough to remember back in like the fall of 2017, I believe. This is how it used to be. You would come through and you would just collect the evolution stones. There were no prizes along the way. So this is back to the old version. But again, I mean, yes, you're paying more in the end to get the dragon, especially your mythic, because last season, for example, it was 31,000 per branch of your legendaries, which once you got past that, you would get to your mythic, which would be 25.5 thousand. And that's without any discounts, of course. But that means this season, for 8,000 more sigils, you're getting 3 different keys, and you're getting your mythic dragon for free. So for about a little over 8,000 more sigils, you're actually getting, more bang for your buck, in my opinion. You're getting 3 different legendaries, a mythic, and all the goodies along the way. So yes, it's more expensive, but you're getting more bang for your buck. And when I mean that, I don't mean like because the prize branching is like immaculately better, because it's not. I don't think it's really that much more impressive. It's like, okay, yeah, you've taken this completely away. You've given us 1 extra gold chest, this a little bit more, this less, etc. So with that being said, not with the prizes itself is it any better, but it is where you're getting now 3 sets of dragons. Okay, so 3 sets of dragons with their prizes, plus the mythic and its goldstone for only about 8,000 more, a little over 8,000 more sigils. So you are getting more bang for your buck in the end, to the point that it's probably about equal pricing to last season. Not to mention the new Imperium stone comes with it. Now, with this new change where you unlock the keys, I really think that gives War Dragons an opportunity to make a big change in the game, but I don't foresee it happening. And that is, if we're going to unlock, the mythics, it would be nice to see us unlock per evolution stone. So like if you collect up to a certain prize, it gives you the key for the first evolution stone or whatever of the mythic, because there are some smaller level players that have no foreseen future of needing a mythic. But if they can at least get 1 to gold or whatever, it may even encourage them to go even further. So I would like to see this, once you get, let's say, to the platinum stone or the sapphire stone or whatever, start unlocking stone for stone versus getting the keys to unlock a mythic branch, if you know what I'm saying. So I would like to see something like that happen. But again, this isn't something I foresee happening, but I can't help but, suggest it because I think that would help many players out there. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is the whole change of the reset for riders. Now, this is a change that's coming, but it's not going to be cheap. Now, I went ahead and brought up Swan because she's one of those that I actually would want to reset. Not all the way back to the beginning, however. Now, with Swan, for example, for some reason I thought, well, maybe I can get both. Like, I was hoping I could go over and get the Rage Regeneration and then, of course, be able to get the Hunter ammo increase. So for me, I wish I could just reset that one specific thing and then, put that over on the Hunter ammo increase, or vice versa. Take this and put it over on a sorcerer since, I love sorcerers. However, it's going to cost you like 10,000 diamonds or rubies in order to reset this entire branch and start over. That is a huge cost. I don't think it's worth it to me to do this at all. Like, really? That is expensive. I mean, very expensive for what you'd be getting from it, especially considering really it's just the end items that we tend to want to change, not so much the beginning. So I wish they would have made it to where you could maybe do it for 1,000 for a certain block or whatever that you could undo and change it over. But instead, it's a complete reset for 10,000 diamonds or rubies. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, and I don't think I personally am going to utilize that. I think that 10,000 rubies would be a lot better spent on chests to get a whole new rider versus resetting this. So I don't know. That to me is crazy. Nonetheless, the option's there if you need it. Now, here's the thing. The Winter Jewel season is actually coming to an end. We've only got 3 weeks left on that. Hopefully that means the winter is leaving at the same time. I know that here where I'm at in Wisconsin currently, it is cold still. We still got like feet of snow outside, and I'm super excited because tomorrow it's actually going to be somewhat decent temperature. It's going to be in the 40s, and then Thursday it's going to be like 50 some. So I'm like, woohoo, it's going to be like the warmest day in months. But we have not gotten rid of snow in so long. So I don't know. Anyway, to me, I'm hoping that that means within 3 weeks the snow is completely done with as well. But never mind the snow. The whole reason I'm bringing this up is you have 3 weeks to gain the glory you might need in order to get your rider. Now, if you don't already know, there are groups out there where you can actually do glory swapping with other players in like No Man's Land or on each other's castles or whatever. If you don't know about this or whatever, be sure to reach out to those in your 5TA or those on your team, like your leadership, and they can help you find somebody, because there's a lot of line chats out there that support this depending upon your level. So there'll be ones with like levels, 100 to 150 glory swap chat room. There'll be some for under 100 or whatever that might be. So be sure to take advantage of that. Another thing is you can always glory swap with an ally. You can bubble each other's, non-5TA, non-like actual official ally. But let's say you're part of a larger alliance, you can actually glory swap with them or even with a neighbor. Bubble each other's castles, make it equal. Anyways, you can get glory in that manner as well. So that is an option out there. You know what? I think I've said this before. I personally like to, of course, farm my alt because I get great glory that way. My alts are getting glory without me having to do separate runs for them. And then I get some awesome chests. So, but I'm pretty excited. I got this rider done, but your time is running out. Now, if for any reason you're running out of, riders to level up, this is a great way to grab yourself a rider to start leveling up for example, the Primarch leveling event. But let's go ahead and jump into this week's winner. We're going to actually have a drawing here on the channel where I go into commentpicker.com or whatever it might be. I paste in the information for the last Talk Dragon Tuesday, and then we're going to let it randomly pick for us. Now, there is a chance that it puts somebody that doesn't have their in-game name there. I will have to, of course, reset it and restart, but as long as your in-game name is there, we are good to go. So let's go ahead and jump into the site right now. All right, and we're going to push start and see who this week's winner is. All right, it looks like here we've got the winner is in-game name is Scar, and he is choosing Haku because he is half price. Duh. That's funny. Anyways, congratulations, Scar. You are the winner of this week's contest. And I know you've been entering in my contest for quite a while, so it's really cool to see your name finally pop up. Congratulations. Okay, so let's go through the details on how you can winter. What in the world am I saying? Winter must have me really struggling right now for it to pop out of my mouth like that. Anyways, let's go over the details on how you can enter for a chance to win a $20 in-game pack come next Talk Dragon Tuesday, just like Scar did. Now with this week's, of course, you're going to go down as usual to the comments section below, and you're going to comment with your in-game name, so I know who the prize goes to. If you don't put your in-game name, we don't know who to send it to. And if you change your in-game name by the drawing point, you may not be able to get a prize. So we're not going to be able to come looking for you. Be sure to keep it. Now, with that being said, I also want to make sure you spell it right, guys, for the same reason. So, anyways, jump to the bottom, go to the comments section, put in your in-game name, and then tell me which change that you've seen come in so far this season that you're most like. Is it, for example, the buffer on the dragons that's getting you more XP? Because I've personally liked that pretty much. Is it the sigil price change? Is it the keys? What is it that you find to be the most, beneficial to you as a player in War Dragons so far with the changes this season? Now, of course, you can put a long explanation. It's not going to get you any, bigger of a chance of winning. But whenever I do the random picker, if for some reason there is no answer and it's just your in-game name, you will not be selected. So this is just for the people that go in, put their name, their in-game name, and of course, put the answer as to what their favorite changes are. Because, I like to send this information up to War Dragons and let them know, like whenever we have our meetings, I say, look, this is the kind of feedback I've been getting. So please know that whenever you do put these answers in here, it is feedback that we're giving back to War Dragons. And anyways, don't forget to jump down to the bottom, do that comment, of course, down there with your in-game name and your favorite change of the season. Now, if for some reason there is no comment section for you, it could be because you're not actually in YouTube under your account. So if you're watching this from a Line app or from an email or from Facebook or wherever you might be, if you can't put a comment, you're probably going to have to jump over to YouTube itself and of course put your comment there. And while you're there, if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do so. Now that is going to be it for this week's video. I do want to go over a little bit of stuff with you guys. I'd planned on getting some more videos out this last week, and this is starting to become a repetitive thing, but I'm starting to come out of my depression because winter is slowly moving its way out. And of course there's, I've had a really rough winter with health issues, family, etc. But things are actually starting to clear up and get a little bit better for me. But I went and I bought a new laptop so I could do better streaming, better videos, and so forth that I'm in the middle of learning. For example, After Effects. I am a photographer. This video editing thing has been pretty new to me since I began doing this. So, I think you've seen the improvement of my videos over time. But now I'm going to be learning how to do this on my PC. And I'll tell you what, Adobe After Effects is no joke. So with that being said, with the new PC, I'm actually going to be bringing back some old seasons. So old episodes, old shows that we used to do, and I might be refreshing some. You're also going to be seeing some activity on this channel for other games coming up. For example, I am in love with a new game called Apex Legends, and I play that about 20 minutes every day, sometimes a little more, depends on when my kids or husband or whoever's available, because I like to play with people I know. So you're going to start seeing a little bit of stuff coming out for that as well. And then if I come across another game, you might see some other stuff too. But I'm pretty excited to be bringing back some of your favorite shows. And of course, we got some feedback on that on a past Talk Dragon Tuesday video, and I got to see quite a bit of stuff there. So pretty excited to see that you guys really appreciate the videos that are coming out, and I look forward to making more for you. Anyways, guys, happy hunting!